Hello and welcome on board the shipper today. The voyage continues. Effective and efficient service delivery, enlightenment and sensitization of stakeholders stand out as two of Nigerian Shippers Council priorities. On today's program, we shall be bringing you details of the recent sensitization program for users and providers of port services that was organized by Nigerian Shippers Council in line with its regulatory mandate as the port economic regulator. Details after this short break.
For more than 5 decades, we have empowered and protected the interests of shippers in the nation's maritime industry. Our focus is to facilitate trade, regulate tariffs and rates, as well as handle shippers' complaints on cargo losses, damage and non-delivery. We offer dispute resolution mechanism for shipping and trade disputes between shippers and service providers. We are Nigerian Shippers Council, Nigeria's port economic regulator, your gateway to a thriving maritime sector. Nigerian Shippers Council will meet you at the port of your need.
Welcome back. This is The Shipper, Nigeria's flagship maritime program on television, proudly brought to you by Nigerian Shippers Council, the nation's port economic regulator. I am Idowu Ogungbemi. The stakeholder sensitization workshop on the registration of regulated port service providers and users in Kaduna is an initiative of the Council to promote efficiency, transparency, and compliance in the ports. Our correspondent, Abraham Jugai, compiled the report and presented by Lucy Yambi.
As part of its role and mandate in ensuring effectiveness and efficiency in facilitating trade, Nigerian Shippers Council organized a one-day stakeholder sensitization workshop on online registration of regulated port service and users of the ports. The workshop drew participants from various sectors including the Nigeria Customs Service, Kaduna State Ministry of Innovation, Trade and Investment, Nigerian Export Promotion Council, freight forwarders, commodity groups and members of Kaduna State Shippers Association. In his keynote address, the Executive Secretary and Chief Executive Officer of Nigerian Shippers Council, Dr. Pius Akuta, MON, represented by the Deputy Director of Stakeholder Services in the Consumer Department of the Council, Mrs. Hannah Adaba, stated that the Council remains committed in performing its duties as the port economic regulator and actively pursuing its transition into the Nigerian Port Economic Regulatory Agency, (NPERA).
In line with this vision, we have intensified efforts to promote efficiency, transparency, and compliance in the port and shipping sector. A critical part of these efforts is the mandatory registration of all regulated port service providers and users. In accordance with Part 2, Section 4.1 of the Port Economic Regulation 2015, the implementation of the online registration portal represents a significant milestone in our journey toward digital transformation and trade facilitation. With this platform, stakeholders can seamlessly register their companies online without the need to physical visits to any Nigerian Shippers Council office, provided that the necessary documentation and payments are submitted. This automation aligns with our agenda to eliminate bottlenecks, reduce bureaucracy, and promote ease of doing business in Nigeria maritime sector. The registration of port service providers and users is therefore a necessary component of this initiative, as it provides a structured database of all industry operators, fostering accountability, efficiency, and data-driven regulations. The Nigerian Shippers Council will continue to engage stakeholders, enforce compliance, and advocate for an efficient, transparent, and competitive maritime industry. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I encourage all service providers and users to complete their registration and obtain their certificates to ensure that they remain compliant with industry regulations and avoid applicable sanctions.
The Director, Northwest Zonal Coordinating Office, Kano, Alhaji Ahmed Yaza, said that the presence of stakeholders gives the Council hope and motivation to continue to work harder towards discharging its mandate as the nation's port economic regulator. He gave an overview of the activities of Nigerian Shippers Council.
As a port economy regulator, we are responsible in providing and ensuring efficient and effective transport services across all modes. And what we mean by mode is sea, rail, air, and road. We encourage the development of transport infrastructure such as the inland dry ports, which of course we are lucky to have one. The one in Kaduna has been gazetted. It is now called the port of destination and origin. You can disturb your boat, do your clearance. These are some of the initiatives of the Nigerian Shippers Council. We have what we call vehicle transit areas and border information centers. What we mean by the border information center, these are centers which have the Nigerian Shippers Council in conjunction with you said. We know there are some small problems you said, but the Nigerian Shippers Council has to get out of their way to establish such institutions based at our Nigerian corridor border. We have one in Jibia, we have one in Lela, we have one in From, we have one in Seme. All these ones are meant to encourage the shippers, the stakeholders, to come and discuss how can we do importation and exportation. And presently we have our officers there. So for some of you who are into that business, you can contact them there. In order to efficiently provide our services, we have established 6 zonal coordinating offices in Kano, Jos, Bauchi, Ibadan, Port Harcourt, Aba, and 14 area offices nationwide. As the nation port economy regulator, we have addressed the issue of the years 2021 to 2023 approved tariff review for West African Container Terminal, which the Shippers Council has to work left and right to see that this tariff setting is part of our port economy regulatory function. We have to now sit down with all the stakeholders that are involved and arrive at a rate that is very convenient to both the users and providers of these shipping services.
In his presentation on how to access the online portal and complete the registration process, the Deputy Director Information Communication Technology ICT, Mr. Ben Irigwe-Gweta, explained that the portal registration is a simple process that can be done with a mobile phone or computer.
It's a simple process where they can use their mobile devices or their laptops to go online and register. They require email address, they need supporting documents. When they log in, they fill in their details, attach supporting documents, make the necessary payments. And when that is done, their submission is validated at the back end. And if it's okay, it's approved, their certificate is issued, which they can go to the portal and print their certificate themselves. It does not involve any physical contact. They don't need to come to the office to do the registration. Everything is self-service. And even the application interacts with them via their email to tell them on the status of their application, whether their certificate is ready, and even the expiration of their registration and the need for them to renew. So it's empowered to ensure that they are registered. And they will benefit from the services of the council. Complaints handling and all that, they will benefit from it. So the portal is secured. There is 256-bit encryption standard and it's a cloud technology. Also, there are firewalls in the cloud infrastructure. There's SSL certificate that ensures that data is encrypted across the internet.
The Kaduna State Commissioner of Business and Industrial Development, Mrs. Patience Fakai, represented by the Acting Director, Ministry of Business and Innovation Department, Mr. Shedwa Kakaki, commended the Council's drive in automating the port process, which will reduce bureaucratic bottlenecks and bring about transparency in the system.
Just learned that Shippers Council are very serious in automating their processes of registration for their stakeholders in the business. And I can see there's an element of transparency because you know how much you're paying, where you're paying, and to whom you're paying, and where your money is going to, which is very, very commendable. I think that is in line with what I've been doing in Kaduna State. We're trying to automate our processes to cut out loopholes, bottlenecks, and corruption in the process. So we know that whatever we are paying is actually going to government coffers will be used positively. I picked something that I will take to our ministry, the section where you can verify your certificate right from the first page. We don't have that in our own portal, so I think I'll go and tell them, learn from Shippers Council, something to learn there.
The Deputy Director and Port Officer, Kaduna Port Office of Nigerian Shippers Council, Alhaji Buba Danjuma, noted that the event was conceived in order to enlighten the populace and business community about the premium that Nigerian Shippers Council places on safeguarding the interests of its stakeholders.
We are registering stakeholders based on our mandate in order to safeguard the interests, of the stakeholder. Our experiences in the past with the stakeholders, the service providers, and the users, we have observed that a lot of people commit atrocities, and you find it difficult to reach their location. Some of them have fake addresses. Some of them are non-existent in terms of their addresses. So we need to know our customer. We want to adopt the style of the know your customer and know your customer in order to detect them, so that they stand to benefit so many things apart from detecting when there are issues. When you defaulted your partner in business, for example, some people will defraud the shipping company. Some people, the shipping companies will overcharge them. Some people, they have claims with the shipping company in terms of demurrage, in terms of container deposits, but they are nowhere to be found. So if you register with us, we have valid details. We can reach you anytime and relate with you very well to the progress of your business.
The state coordinator, Nigerian Export Promotion Council (NEPC), Kabiru Sadu, commended the council for the role it is playing in automation of its processes for ease of doing business.
We are sister organizations, and we've been in so many federal government committees like that of ease of doing business, and it was established to automate the issue of registration so that it could be seamless, fast and easy. And this is what is expected of us, to come back and let the stakeholders know about this process of ease of registration as a shipper, and it's a commendable one. And we hope and pray that similar sensitizations and collaborations within NEPC and shippers will continue to come up, and so that the ultimate beneficiaries will know and benefit from. Within the limits of resources we have, there should be more sensitization like this in all nook and crannies, so that people will be aware the activities of shippers and all other sister organizations.
Other participants also spoke to the shipper.
Indeed, automation is something that is very relevant and necessary at this stage we are. We have gone global. We need to act seamlessly. Let our processes be seamless. We want to facilitate trade, of course. So online registration for the service provider at this point is very necessary. And from the presentation, it's seamless, it's easy. We can easily do it. As the director says, it is a process that you can use your mobile phone. The portal is mobile friendly. Let's try and utilize the process. While maybe possibly doing the registration, he says if you have any difficulty, you can always go back to their offices and make complaints or make a review, so that at least they can upgrade. It is just the first time. Possibly, yes, there are going to be mistakes or things they need to review. So let's please utilize the portal so that they can improve their processes.
In ease of doing business, it is another plus for Nigerian Shippers Council. The registration system is seamless, and it is self-explanatory, and it is easy to conduct, even on the phone, as the Deputy Director mentioned. The advantage is that it will fast-track registration and certification of service providers, which in turn will enhance productivity and, like I said, ease of doing business. This is a welcome development.
We are impressed with the presentation and this educative. So they have sensitized us how to register. So online, okay.
It is imperative to note that this initiative to register all port users and service providers will be of exceptional value in terms of database creation, personal and environmental security, efficiency, and ease of doing business for all stakeholders, just to mention a few benefits.
Nigerian Shippers Council will continue to enlighten and sensitize all stakeholders in the industry about the online registration for promoting efficiency, transparency, and compliance in the port and shipping sector, which is in line with its mandate as port economic regulator. It is now time to join Maria Uekule on our Tidbit segment for local and international news.
Hello, and welcome to the Tidbit segment on The Shipper. I am Maria Uekule, your guide to the latest trends, updates, and brief stories from the maritime world. Let's get started. Nigerian Shippers Council recently convened an operational retreat for its middle management cadre. The retreat with the theme Building Regulatory and Operational Capacity was held at the Conference Hotel in Abeokuta, Ogun State. One of the aims of the event is to boost the leadership, potential and capacity of middle-level officers, crucial to the Council's operational success and future growth. The retreat featured the Executive Secretary CEO of the Council's speech, presentations and interactive sessions led by the distinguished resource persons and industry experts, including Mfon Ekong Usoro, former Director General of NIMASA, Olusegun Adeniyi, Chairman of This Day Editorial Board, among others. Mr. Rotimi Anifowoshe, Director Strategic Planning and Research Department of the Council, highlighted the significance of middle management in the organizational structure of the Council. The retreat marks another step in the Council's commitment to excellence, sustainability, and leadership development within its workforce. A detailed report of the retreat will be featured in the next edition of the Shipper. In another development, Barrister Joy Bridget Dimka of the Legal Services Department of Nigerian Shippers Council has been honored with the prestigious Rising Star Award at the Women in Maritime and Energy Awards ceremony. The award, which recognizes outstanding contributions and achievements of women in the maritime and energy sectors, was presented to her at a ceremony held in Lagos recently. The Women in Maritime and Energy Awards is a first-of-its-kind initiative to place importance on the impact and recognition of the ever-growing achievements of women in the maritime and energy industries, while celebrating and honoring the women making the greatest and remarkable impacts in both industries. The Women Awards also recognizes the benefits of increasing women's participation in employment and leadership roles, which have been globally proven to be an enabler for economic growth and development.
It's a very good platform. It takes a lot for women because maritime is mostly a male-dominated industry. So it's worth it to celebrate women who are not only in maritime, but women who have made their mark, because the dynamics are different for women. We know that all over the world. It's worth it. It encourages, it celebrates women that have achieved, and it encourages the women that are coming behind to know that they are standing on shoulders of people who took their jobs seriously, who took their passions and their dreams seriously. So they too should take it seriously. It's not a joke. It's worth celebrating. I'm grateful to our ES who encourages things like this, encourages young people, encourages people to work harder, to push harder. I'm grateful to my parents.
We encourage you to follow our social media pages at NG Shippers on Facebook, Instagram, X, and YouTube for more of our latest updates, events, and information. Let's take a look at our complaints register for the week. Nigerian Shippers Council has received 6 ongoing complaints and 3 resolved cases. This includes issues with refusal to renew license, delayed loading of container, conspiracy, forgery and fraud, economic sabotage, outrageous billing, destruction of consignments. And 31 cases of conspiracy, forgery and fraud have been resolved. Other resolved cases are outrageous billing and refusal to renew license. We encourage our stakeholders to visit our website at www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng for more information or to lodge their concerns. Now, let's switch our focus to the international maritime news. The Panama Canal is about to open a bidding process for developing a new pipeline for the transfer of energy products which will complement operations in the interoceanic waterway. The canal is taking a major step to diversify its operations, announcing plans to open a bidding process for the construction of a new pipeline capable of transporting liquefied petroleum gas, or LPG, between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. The move comes in response to recent climate changes, including severe droughts in 2023 and 2024 that disrupted deep draft vessel transits. Canal authorities say the new pipeline will complement existing operations and boost the canal's long-term resilience and competitiveness. The project will be developed through a transparent bidding process open to technically and commercially qualified companies. It is therefore a part of a broader plan to position Panama as a key energy transit hub and enhance sustainable infrastructure along the canal's west bank. In related efforts, the Panama Canal will also introduce a net zero slot this October, giving weekly priority to Neo-Panamax vessels running on low-carbon fuels, further aligning with global decarbonization goals. In another news, Japanese shipping company NYK has executed construction and charter contracts for its first methanol-powered very large crude carrier. The vessel, which will be NYK's very first large crude carrier that can use methanol or traditional fuel oil for propulsion, will be constructed by Nihon Shipyard and deployed on a long-term charter with Idemitsu Tanker. The 310,000 deadweight tonnage VLCC will be equipped with a dual-fuel methanol main engine and a large shaft generator. Scheduled for delivery in 2028, the 339.5-meter vessel will be built based on Malacca Max next-generation environmentally friendly VLCC design developed by NYK in collaboration with Idemitsu Tanker, IINO, Kayun Keisha, and Nippon Shipyard. The Japanese companies teamed up in January 2024 for the Joint Research and Development Project to design and build an eco-friendly VLCC, targeting up to 40% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions. The design concept for what was described as Japan's first Malacca Max type VLCC that can run on methanol as an alternative fuel was revealed in October 2024. And that concludes this week's edition of Tidbits on the Shipper. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you again next week with more insights from the maritime world.
For more than 5 decades, we have empowered and protected the interests of shippers in the nation's maritime industry. Our focus is to facilitate trade, regulate tariffs and rates, as well as handle shippers' complaints on cargo losses, damage and non-delivery. We offer dispute resolution mechanism for shipping and trade disputes between shippers and service providers. We are Nigerian Shippers Council, Nigeria's port economic regulator, your gateway to a thriving maritime sector. Nigerian Shippers Council will meet you at the port of your need.
As always, it is a pleasure having you join us this week on the program. Do join us next week for another interesting episode. Always stay connected with us on social media at NG Shippers for more updates. Until then, have a swimmingly great week ahead. Goodbye.